Hello and welcome to the Lost and Faded podcast, where we get faded and lost into whatever movie I'm feeling for the week. Well, we're back again for this week with Shrek 2, with Megan and me again, Byron.
Megan, hi.
Byron.
Hey.
Hey.
Shrek 2.
Yeah, let's just jump straight into it.
Starts with you being a fucking
It starts with Prince Charming narrating his journey to the castle.
Yes.
I think he gets to the castle and the fucking
a gender-confused wolf is laying in the bed. It's the wolf from the original movie. And he's sitting there reading a boy wolf magazine.
just vibing.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, Fiona's on honeymoon.
Yeah. She's married to an ogre.
And so we get a little montage.
Their honeymoon crash.
I think they scare off some people. They get a little picnic basket. Oh, they scare off Riding Hood.
They beat the shit out of a mermaid or two at one point.
Well, the mermaid got on top of Shrek.
Yeah.
And then
Fiona said, launched her.
not on my honeymoon.
Nope. Mm-mm.
And so they're having the best time, and they're coming home, and they're like, I can't wait to live in the swamp together.
Yep. Just hang out and chill.
And they get there, and Donkey's, it's a mess.
Yep.
Donkey's chilling. He's like, hey, you guys are back. Yes. Now we can chill all the time.
All of us together.
And I'm like, oh my God.
And they're like, Donkey, we just got back. Can it be us? Like,
can we chill for a little bit?
yeah, like hanging at the house sus. And Donkey's like,
no.
yeah, literally.
He's like, it's the three of us. We're vibing.
Yes.
And so they're like, go, Donkey. And then he goes and leaves. And then he comes back and he's like, since you guys want me to go, do you want these guys to go too? And it's
It's a whole royal crew
mm-hmm.
from Fiona's kingdom, like where her parents are from. Far, far away.
And
Boy was hitting it on the trumpets too. He was killing it. He was murdering that.
He was like, let me show off a little bit. And so they tell him that they're invited to Far, Far Away, the kingdom of Far, Far Away.
Yeah.
Which, lucky of Shrek to have married and the king of, or the princess of Far, Far Away.
Yeah.
Which was like, it's like the biggest.
I was gonna say, it like trumps the rest of the princesses.
Yeah.
Like she's that girl.
Yeah, we'll get to like the other princesses and stuff there later. But so they all get in the carriage and Ducky's like, yes, let's go.
Period. And they're like, God, this is gonna suck. Well, then first they tell him to watch the house, and it's the three pigs.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Pinocchio.
It's the gang.
Yep. Now immediately start partying.
The
right,
mice.
stuff. Yep.
Yeah, so they go partying and Donkey's like, yes, we're all going. And then so they're riding. And this carriage is going slow, by the way.
Fuck.
Like, it could be going
Long
faster.
travel too. Like it's like a long.
Like, it was a whole day probably traveling type shit. Was it night? Did it go to night?
I feel like because it went through like a montage of like them going places, and then Donkey, are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Oh my God.
Are we there yet?
And he
Are we there yet?
is continuously annoying.
Not coming up.
Like, just come on.
And then Shrek's, will you please shut up for just 1 minute?
And then they finally get there. And it's like basically LA.
Yep.
Palm tree.
Literally, it's like Beverly Hills.
There's like a whole like strip of stores and stuff. People are walking, paparazzi, all that shit. They're going down the street. They see like Cinderella's house and Rapunzel's house. Yep. And I was like, okay, that's pretty nice that they have their own little places. Yeah. They're living right outside this huge castle.
Literally. Well, and doesn't at one point too it have a big ass billboard for the fairy godmother?
I think so, yeah.
She's a little wand. Foreshadowing.
And so they get to the place or the castle, and there's a whole crowd waiting, and her parents are right there, and Shrek's like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Yep. And they get out, and it's just silence.
Which, too, the carriage is like an onion or garlic. Like, it's not... I'm like, if this... Shrek had his own carriage, A or B, like, they didn't send a carriage for them.
Wait, what?
The carriage that they went in is like an onion. Or like a garlic ball.
Type of shape.
Yeah. But what did they also think? Somebody coming out of that. Like...
Oh, yeah, true, I guess. I mean, well, that might be how... their carriages look.
True. And also nobody knew about Fiona's secret, so they didn't know that she was partial ogre.
So it's just awkward.
Yeah, because then it's a bunch of humans and then ogres.
They're just staring at each other, and then I think they're just like, let's go inside. Yep. And so they're sitting for dinner, and it's just the dad being like mean about ogres.
Passive aggressive as hell, like...
And,
more aggressive.
And Shrek trying to chill and be like, trying not to show that he's like messy and shit. And Donkey's like, yeah, we live in a swamp.
Yeah, I do. No.
Donkey just fucks shit up.
Well, when Donkey came at the table, the king was like, no, like, get down. Like, Donkey's sitting at the table. And they're like, no. Donkey's here.
Yeah.
Donkey sits at the table.
When Shrek was trying to drink the cleaning water, and Donkey was actually doing it
he said,
too.
With his little hoofs. Like, girl, he said, good soup, Mrs. M.
And so they bring out the food, and it's just Shrek and the king, like, just, like, breaking open, like, different foods.
And like, savages and, like, trying to assert their male dominance. Ah!
And then they end up, like, ripping the like pig up, or like making the pig go up in the air and like falling down, and Fiona's like done. She runs away.
She walks the hell out of that room.
Which the mom is also like, she's trying to be chill too. She's like, we shouldn't be like this.
Because we know how our daughter is, bro. Like, it's...
I mean, she knows how the husband is too.
But also, he is a king. I wouldn't put that as much on...
Yeah, true. He's a king.
The queen. Yeah, because, like, girl, why are you that mad?
So
you know she was an ogre. Of course she's going to marry an ogre.
True. So then she's sad in her room, and the fairy godmother comes in. And she's like, look at all this stuff I can do for you. Blah, blah, blah. I don't even know what she wants out of it. She's just like, let me show you all the stuff I can do.
Yes, basically.
And then Fiona's like, I don't want all this. I just want to be happy.
Yes.
And she's like, she doesn't know what to do.
Everyone's like...
And then Shrek walks in, and she's like, who is this? And then she says that they're married or whatever. And then I think she just leaves. She just gets out of there. Or she gives them
immediately like, no.
She gives Shrek the card.
Yes.
Like, for like happiness or whatever.
Yeah, just a teardrop away.
And so then she goes upstairs to
Shrek and Fiona get in a fight.
Oh yeah.
Right? And then it results in like Shrek leaving.
Which okay.
Like, no, they slept together, I think, the first night. But he just like dipped for a little bit.
Yeah, he just left for Shrek. He just wanted a normal life. He just got through this whole adventure and got married, and he just wanted to go to the swamp and chill. Yeah. And immediately when he gets back to the swamp to chill, he gets put on this whole other adventure to like meet her parents.
Yep.
Who she didn't tell much about anything.
Nope.
And of course he's gonna be annoyed. And he's always getting yelled at, and people are always talking shit about him. So what did she expect?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Especially if it's like Fiona knows her parents too. Like they locked you in a tower for being an ogre partially. Like
they said you couldn't go on sleepovers because you would turn into an ogre.
Yeah. So nope, sorry.
But yeah, so they get in an argument, and she's like, I changed for you, Shrek. You should change for me. I'm like, he's trying to.
Nobody is cutting him slack with this one.
Shrek was used to living by himself. Yeah. Now he's like friends and a wife. He's opening
And
himself up.
dead ass. Donkey's annoying ass, dude.
And so they get in the fight. He walks away. And then her parents hear the fight. And the mom's like, you should have been chill with them. You should trust her.
Yeah.
And he's like, just being his dumb self.
But an ogre.
And then the fairy godmother
Yes.
pulls up outside. And he's like, I gotta go
Balcony,
stretch outside.
Literally.
Closes it. And she's like, get in.
It is like, what the hell happened to your daughter? Why the hell did my son go through blistering deserts and stormy to find a tender, confused wolf lying in her bed?
Ridiculous.
But like, girl.
She needs to chill out.
And the Prince Charming is
Why?
a fuck, dude.
Yeah. Why was he late?
Mommy's boy is hell. Late as hell, too. Like, late as hell. And if you're telling me, like, Lord Farquaad, to reference, like, the beginning, hadn't put out a notice about wanting someone to go rescue this princess, that it would have gotten a little more spread, a little more.
So maybe. But, like,
Maybe
he should have been faster.
Yeah.
Either way. She's yelling at him. And then they stop at this fast food place, and she's like, look what you're making me do.
Literally.
Ruin my diet. She orders her meal.
She was so mad.
And then she gives Prince Charming a fucking medieval meal because he's a child.
Comes with the whole sword.
They just give it to him.
Yeah.
To the king when he leaves.
Literally.
So she's basically like, you need to figure this shit out. And you need to get rid of the ogre.
Yep.
So then he gets dropped off, and he's like, okay, I want to go to this bar, and I'm going to hire a hitman. And he's at the bar, by the way, and this frog's like, you look familiar. Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
There was also foreshadowing when the mom and the dad were talking. They were talking about being near lily pads or whatever when they first met.
Yeah.
Which I was like, But
That's wild.
We
We end up meeting Puss and motherfucking Boots.
yeah. Which he gets paid a lot of money to go after ogres, which I guess he's known to kill them before.
Yes.
Sure. Because the king sets up Shrek going out to a forest to get attacked by Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
Which Puss in Boots, he runs up, he like scratches them, he gets Shrek kicked in the nuts.
Yep.
And then he like goes back to his like
a tiny
boots.
little cute kitty.
And he's like, yeah, I did that. Let's go. Let's fight. Immediately gets a hairball.
Yep.
And Shrek walks up and just picks him up.
By the scruff of his fucking neck.
And that's his bat. He gives up at that point.
Yep.
I'm like, you haven't beat any ogres.
And then he fucking spills the beans about what had happened with a hitman being out on him being the hitman out on fucking Shrek and who did it.
Mm-hmm.
So then Shrek's like, oh shit, he's trying to murder me. Like, why would you try to kill me? Big mad.
And now Shrek's like, I gotta figure this out. I gotta make this right. And so he's like, let's go to the fairy godmother.
Because he pulls out his little card and they make Donkey cry.
Yeah. And Puss in Boots is like, let me come along. And Shrek's like, yeah. And now Donkey's jealous.
Because and then at one point in the montage of them going to the fairy godmother's house, Puss is sitting on Shrek's shoulder and they're like gossiping and like looking back at Donkey, and Donkey's pissed as hell walking behind them.
Puss in Boots knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he did. But that was kind of funny because, and of course, Shrek's gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna play into this.
Because Puss in Boots is that annoying. Talking every 10 minutes or minute.
Literally, he sees how annoyed it makes Donkey, so he's like, nah, we're keeping this up.
So they get to the fairy godmother's place and they pretend to be like
union inspectors or something, dude. Like,
or some shit like that.
or like something up to code and like how he's asking him, how's your job here? Like, how's your work? And blah, blah, blah. And the one
is like, oh,
we
before
don't
I
even
move
get
this thing,
dental.
he moves the microphone. No dental's crazy.
No dental. So they're like, just don't let her know. Like, we're going to go in and inspect real quick. So they go into like this massive factory of all these potions being made.
Yeah. All these weird little guys in suits.
And I'm just kind of looking at them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so he goes directly to the fairy godmother, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Literally. She's like making potions and stuff. And he's like, I want Princess Fiona to love me and blah, blah, blah.
And then she's like, too bad, you're an ogre. You'll never be loved.
Every storybook and is like, doesn't know ogres.
And she's like, bye. And Shrek's like, sorry for wasting your time. And she's like, yeah, you did. And then so they leave. And
they secretly just go into a storage closet or whatever, and then they grab some passerby little
one of those little guys. So he just puts the outfit on.
Yeah, they're like a fourth of Shrek's size, and then he literally just like barely puts their entire like jumpsuit.
It's just on his head.
Yep.
And then he's just walking by like,
hey, how you doing today?
You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And so they get into this big potion room, and Shrek's like, Donkey, you be the watch out, and Puss in Boots, you go get this potion. And Puss in Boots does his thing, goes up there, gets the potion basically. But Donkey's yapping with the door open. And Shrek's like, Donkey! And that yell at Donkey made everyone look at them as the door's wide open.
And then they all look, and they're like, what the fuck are y'all doing? And then they realize what had happened. So then they start setting the alarm, and then somehow the glass breaks, and then all these potions start like just busting, like falling down.
And they get the potion, they run out,
skirt out real quick,
and like all these potions are like, those potions are they just fell on the ground. But the potion they knock over in the main room, turns most of them into pigeons.
Yeah, I think they were dumb.
And I think some people turn into inanimate objects, which I'm like, I hope that wears off.
Yes. Because that would have been wild.
And so they leave.
And then, like, the place in disarray. They destroy it. Potion everywhere.
And then the fairy godmother comes in, and she's like...
pissed.
She's like, what's going on? And then she learns that they took that potion. And she's like, this could work.
Yep, literally.
And so they go, and Donkey's like, I'm going to try to test it before anyone else.
Yes.
And so he tests it. It doesn't work right away. Shrek tests it. Doesn't work right away. And now they're like, fuck.
It starts raining.
They get into a barn. Pass out.
And then like the little drop that fallen on the ground like turns into like a beautiful flower. And then it's like, oh my God. And then the next morning they wake up.
And also with this potion, it's like something with true love.
Yeah.
And like, it's always something with true love.
Yeah.
And kiss
before a certain time frame. Like it's like... So when they wake up in the barn and they're all handsome, they're like, oh shit.
Like, hey. And there's girls around Shrek. And Shrek's like, Jesus Christ.
I can be your true love's first kiss.
Oh, they were wild.
And he's like, nah, girls. I only got one.
Literally. So they ride to the kingdom. And this scene, when I was a kid, made me so mad. Because they get into the castle. Shrek runs into the castle, and he's like, Fiona! And he runs into a direction. And she's like, Shrek! And she runs downstairs, and he just keeps running in another direction. He's like, Fiona! And she's like, Shrek! And they're just avoiding each other.
And I get, like, it's a larger area, like, shit could echo, but also I feel like you have a sense of direction when someone's calling for you in a certain area.
Shrek should have just stayed where he was. Yeah. He was calling for Fiona.
True.
But so he gets trapped in this room with the fairy godmother.
Side note from that, he acted like he hadn't been in that castle before.
Yeah.
Running around like he didn't know where her room was.
Literally. But he gets trapped in a room with the fairy godmother. And then Fiona runs into Prince Charming, who's trying to act like Shrek. And he's like, it's me. Well, he's barely trying to act like Shrek.
Yes. And like, I drink the potion and I'm handsome now.
And she's like, what? And the dad's just like, try and go with it because he's just going to get
He knows he fucked up. So he's like, all right, we got to make sure these two end up together.
And he's in fear that the fairy godmother is going to reverse the spell that he has. But So we fuck. So now Shrek gets what happens to Shrek after that?
I think
He just leaves, right?
yeah.
He just leaves.
Oh, because they see she sees the fairy godmother and Shrek are looking out the window and they see down to where Prince Charming is with Fiona and then like them kikiing and like holding them together and stuff. And the fairy godmother was like, see, she doesn't fucking love you. And he's like, fine, whatever, let Fiona be with him. He's better for her anyways and blah, blah, blah.
And he also learned that she was obsessed with him as a kid.
Oh, which we forgot part of the potion too. It turns like your true love into like they're a different. Fiona turned into a human at some point with the spell.
Do you think it's wild we didn't see what Dragon turned into with Donkey?
Because Donkey turned into a stallion, baby.
But so bless you.
Sorry, that was almost right in the mic too.
So now Shrek's moping, walking away, and then so I think it goes to the bar scene where
yes,
they're at the bar sad, and then the king comes in and has a meeting with the fairy godmother, and they go spy on it
outside,
and they explain the whole like plan that they had with Prince Charming. It's pretending to be Shrek and stuff, and then Donkey ruins it by saying...
It's literally talking. And they hear him from outside the window, and it pursues into a whole chase.
Yeah, they run away. And also, Prince Charming is complaining because he's like, Fiona's noticing stuff. And I'm like, Fiona should be noticing stuff. He's completely different. She should immediately be like, this isn't Shrek.
Literally.
But it's whatever.
Girl.
And so... it goes back to the fairy tale people at Shrek's house, and they're watching TV. It gets to night, so it's just basically their
cops.
They're cops, and they're like, they're watching Shrek get chased.
It said white Bronco headed northbound, referencing OJ.
Yeah,
wild.
And then they're arresting them, and then
Boots.
Yeah. Puss in Boots.
Catnip in his boot. He's like, that's not mine.
And so they toss them into this well, chained up. And then the fairy tale people are like, we gotta go get them.
Yeah, because they're like, oh shit, that's Donkey.
And Shrek.
And like, not them being able to notice the potion in their different forms still, but like Fiona couldn't even have been bothered to be like,
she's bugging.
Yeah.
So they get to like the well, and so they blow up the top of the well, and Pinocchio jumps down like Mission Impossible.
Women's underwear.
He tangles himself up. Yep. Yeah, he's wearing women's underwear. Which he lies while trying.
Yep.
Like he's like, I got breeze.
And they're like, no, it's not.
It's a thought.
Dude, Gingy's just fucking with them the whole time, too.
And so Gingy unlocks all of them, and they get out, and they're like, we gotta go to the Muffin Man.
Because they're like, how the fuck are we gonna get into this party? Like, they're gonna arrest us again. So...
they go to the Muffin Man and cook something up.
Makes... what's his name? Mongo?
Yeah, Mongo.
Big-ass gingerbread. Huge.
Yeah, and so before we get into that whole scene...
Sorry.
No, you're okay. We gotta get to the runway scene where like Prince Charming's just like taking all the pictures, and Fiona's like, "Look at him. That's not how Shrek acts."
Flat ass, and then that was the next part. Sorry, Byron.
No, you're all good. And then it gets to the next scene. I just want to talk about that a little bit.
Fair.
But the next scene is one of my favorite scenes in any movie. I think. It was
the montage scene.
Yeah. What's the song?
I need a hero.
Yes. Such a good song. Mongols were rampaging through the city. They're like on top of him. They're like, let's go.
They're doing like a whole montage of them, and then it switches over to like Prince Charming and Fiona, and they're dancing. And she goes, are you wearing chapstick? And it's cherry flavored. You want to taste? I was like, she's like, no, girl, what the fuck? Like, who are you?
Literally. And so, yeah, the fairy godmother's singing this song.
A bop.
Yeah, she's killing it.
Absolute bop.
Such a good song and scene.
Good rendition. Like, it's like a great cover.
And so Mongol gets to the castle door, and he's like ripping open the bridge, and they finally get some like foam or some shit to like melt his arms, and he falls back, but Shrek is able to jump on inside. But Genji's like, no,
Literally.
not leaving him behind.
He said, take me with him. And they're like, no, bitch. And they scoop him up real quick.
A little tear down my face.
Yeah, she didn't have to die like that. They just made him. Like, he's alive probably for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, he is alive for like 10 minutes down there. Because we'll see him a little bit later. But they're like riding through the castle on a donkey, and the Puss in Boots stops to fight the knights, and they get out there. They're like, stop! Because Prince Charming's about to kiss her.
Yes.
And Fiona's like, Shrek. And everybody's like, Shrek. And he's like,
it's me, Fiona. I'm Shrek.
And he explains the whole
potion
situation with the fairy godmother, which the theory I had about the fairy godmother
is she was the one that put the curse on Fiona.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Because it would just lend her to her whole plan, because the True Love's kiss, she's been waiting for Prince Charming
to be part of the royal family. But she already has that fucking curse on the king. So it's like,
it's a little
she's getting them all, dude.
Yeah.
She said, fuck you and your kid.
Literally. And she's like, my son is getting a wife.
Literally.
He's gonna be a king. But so they're freaking out, and then they're like, I think the fairy tale creatures come out, and they like start jumping at the fairy godmother because they don't want her to use her wand.
Yep.
Which she turns Pinocchio into a real boy.
She does.
He's like, I'm a real boy.
And then immediately takes it away, and he's like, aw.
And so she goes and like tries to shoot Shrek because they failed, and then the king jumps in the way. And
in front of Shrek.
It bounced off him, hit her, but he still got hit by it a little bit. She disappeared completely.
Yep.
Bubbles.
Yep.
And she's like, not
so I think he was wearing armor, and it like just penetrated him enough to where
wore off the spell.
Yeah.
And so Pinocchio was like, he croaked.
And then he actually croaked.
Yeah, he croaks.
Come to find out, he's just a frog.
Yeah, he's a frog. He's a frog that kissed the princess and turned into prince, I think.
Aww. Or king, yeah.
Yeah, or king, yeah. But so he's like, he apologizes and everything, and they're all like, it's okay. And then they have a little like kiss, and then they have a little song at the end.
Yes.
That's the movie.
Yeah. Well,
they killed it.
Sorry, Byron, because you forgot the part too when they were like, they came to the agreement on just staying ogres because they had enough time to kiss and like stay human. And then Fiona was like, nah, bitch, we need to be in our true forms. Like, fuck it. Like, our dad, like, our dad turned into a frog, so like we can be ogres. It's fine.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah, great movie.
Great second, like a follow-up too.
Yeah, it expanded on a lot. I feel like it went a lot more into detail with a lot of scenes.
Yes.
It built the world a lot more better than the first one.
Introduced a lot new characters. Like, it was...
Everyone, it just hit every bar. It was bam, 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 bam.
Yep.
I just love it.
Yeah. I've seen Shrek 2 so many fucking times.
It's definitely better than the first one.
Yeah.
And I still think the first one's a classic, but this one is... It's the most easy watch, I would say. Like, 1 is good for like background, but 2 is like, nah, I just need something like just fun and like mindless to throw on. Literally.
Just like watch this.
So I think we're both gonna say it. Go buy it.
Go buy it.
Go buy it. Come on.
Go buy it.
Shrek 2.
Shrek 2.
The best one.
Yeah.
Buy the first 2.
Honestly, buy them all.
Buy them all and then only watch the first 2.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
Yeah.
It'll be worth it.
Yep.
But anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Hold up.